Welcome to Talk Dirt to Me, where two farmers shatter myths and take on the top issues facing America's farmers. Here's your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee.
What's up, everybody?
Yes, another wonderful good evening from right here in West Tennessee.
That's right. No better place to be. What is that? What the license plates used to say? It was something like, it wasn't no better place to be.
No place I'd rather be or something like that.
Yeah, Tennessee, something. I did see, we're going to have to, man, Bill Lee, we got to get that man to clam up.
The governor?
Yeah. Yeah. Like he put out a speech today, basically a promo essentially for Tennessee, telling New Yorkers to come to Tennessee if they're upset.
What?
Have you not seen this?
No.
Yes. He was like, hey, we just want you to know, he said, especially businesses, New York businesses, Tennessee is open for business. So if you want to leave, come here and see. And I'm like, which he's caught some heat because people are like, we don't want any more blue folks coming to Tennessee.
Well, and right. And you would have said, well, it's going to be all the conservatives that are going to come out. Well, the problem is their kids come with them and they were around a bunch of liberal assholes in their New York City schools. And so they get here and, you know, they don't necessarily have they
don't assimilate to the Tennessee ways.
And I mean, I understand, you know, and as politicians, they're wanting growth, businesses. We want to get bigger and better. And that's one thing I had a issue with, not really an issue, but, you know, a lot of our politicians in our area, like their crowning achievement was getting the big Ford plant into West Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because I'm like, I kind of like the way things were around here before. You know?
We kind of like that. We actually like that it's a small town.
Yeah. And the more business owners I talk to around here, because like, generally, you know, being a business owner, like
growth is good,
but we're kind of like, I don't know, like, cause it's going to bring more people into the area. It's going to inject more money into our area, but it's going to inflate everything.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the jobs are going to be people they're going to bring. Yeah. I mean, it's just right. I don't know, like at some point, when are we no longer Tennessee anymore?
Yeah.
Because we brought in everybody from everywhere else.
And and that to me is New York City. You know, when you go, you've been to New York City?
No, I hadn't.
Well, fortunately for me, I went before it was a socialist area, but no one there was from New York. And
I actually saw a graphic today. I don't know if you saw it I don't know if it was like an exit poll about how long you had lived in New York City and how they voted. And it was like, have lived there less than 5 years. I'm like, less than 5 years? Like that's nothing. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I consider somebody that's moved here and they've been here for 15 or 20 years. Like you still ain't from here.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, maybe we're glad to have you if you're
I was going to say no hate on that, but yeah.
And I was just like, whoa, like it was unreal.
Wow.
Well, and he had like 85% of that vote.
Yeah.
And literally you finally got down to like people that have just been there 20 plus years. So I was like, still, that ain't that long. I mean, maybe I sound old when I say that.
But I've been here for 34 years. You've been here for 41 years?
42.
42 years.
42 and a half.
That's right. Yeah. Actually, if I'm 34 or 42.
I didn't save it, but yeah, it was just ridiculous. Then because it was like less than 5 years. And it was like 5 to 10 years. Because like it only even went up to 20. And once you got down there, those people actually voted more for whoever else. I don't even know if there
Cuomo.
was. Yeah, it was a conservative, but
Sylvan or something.
Yeah, which
he had no chance in hell. But you know,
he did not carry the majority of that vote.
Yeah,
and the longer they had lived there, the less likely they were to vote for him, basically.
Yeah,
and it was incredible, and I was like, whoa, that is pretty damn crazy.
Were they all from Minnesota?
Well, and I've not been plugged into that whole deal. I knew that they had a socialist Muslim running for mayor and he was probably going to win, but oh shoot, where was I going to go with that? Oh, apparently in his victory speech, like he named off, he's like, we've got, you know, Hispanic. He named off all these nationalities that came together to vote for him. And they're like, notably missing, he didn't mention American one time.
Yeah, he never calls himself an American, I'm pretty sure, which I don't think he was born here. I don't remember where they said he was born. But, yeah, man, I told somebody today, I said, the problem we got in this country, and I'm sure it was the same, I know it was the same way for you, whenever we were kids and you were in school, and I'm a strong Christian. I don't think this is idolatry, but we would say the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning and, started our day saying the Pledge of Allegiance, looking at the flag. And I told somebody,
and we went to a Christian private school.
Yeah.
But I remember, I don't know that all my teachers ever did this, but in homeroom, we would say the Pledge of Allegiance. And then for some of them, we would then say the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I told someone what has shifted in America. Like back whenever our grandfathers were like in World War II and they got out of the war and they were starting businesses, man, you had Southern Democrats and you had Republicans and you had different ideologies. But at the end of the day, everybody could unite around the fact that, well, we're Americans. We're American citizens. We unite under the flag.
And everybody was incredibly proud.
They were proud to be an American. And that's what I told someone. When I noticed this shift, there was a clip on Instagram one day I saw. This has been a few years ago. I never watched the show Modern Family. Did you ever watch that?
No.
The name alone made me like, I probably won't dig this. I didn't watch it. And there's this chick, and she's Hispanic, and one of their kids says something about being an American, and they are Americans in the show. Because I looked in the comments and I'm like, what? And they're like American. And she's like, ooh, we're not Americans. We just live here. Kind of like it was like shameful to be Americans. And I just remember thinking, I'm like, what in the world? And now like even the flag is oppressive. And it's like, man, people used to unite under it. And I even got to looking like in our grandparents' day, for better or for worse, one, they basically, most everyone watched the same news. Most everyone, they were limited on the amount of TV channels they even had. So they basically all watched the same shows. Most of them had probably the same faith. And so a lot of these things have changed. And I know some people be like, well, there's elements of that that's good. It's like, maybe. But I will tell you that, look, America's always been like the melting pot of culture, and there's been elements people think that's like the best thing about it. And there are good things about that. But one of the differences where every other country seems to understand, or most every other country seems to understand, when you come and you become a citizen of that country, you can still appreciate your previous culture, but you now are that citizen. Like that, Putin has said it before, like, if you become a Russian citizen, and I have no idea what that entails, I imagine it's probably pretty difficult. But like, if you become a Russian citizen, you no longer fly the flag of your previous country.
And I think that's very reasonable.
I do too. Like if you come here to America and you become a citizen of America, the American flag is your flag. Like if you want to say, well, my family's from Mexico or Ireland or whatever, hey man, that's fine. But we unite under the American flag, and that has just been lost.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I'm not the first person to point this out, but New York City, 24 years ago, the terrorist attacks, which I know a lot of the people that voted for him weren't even alive then, or were way too young to remember it. But man, I'm like, if you had told somebody in the weeks following that in 24 years, we're going to have a Muslim mayor. Not leave out the fact that he's a socialist and everything else. You'd have said, no way.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. Not that we're making it totally a religion thing, but I mean, it's
a red flag. It is,
man. I mean, yeah. So anyway, a part of me is like, let them have him. Let them burn that shit to the ground and we'll watch it burn. But what then pissed me off is when we're like, it's, one of the greatest cities in the world.
We got to save it.
Like, yeah, we gotta, we can't just let it go. Cause then nobody learns their lesson. They're like, well, see, it wasn't that bad, anyway. And I've seen people point out too, that, the politicians are so corrupt, in a big city like that, whether they were just a regular Democrat or even a Republican or now a socialist. I don't even know what exactly he calls himself. Like, it's just so corrupt. None of it really matters. I'm like, that might be true.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. You hate to root for them to fail. Cause we talk about that even when Biden's the president, like, I don't want him to fail just to prove that, the guy I wanted to beat him
was right.
Just to say, like, I told you so. Like, no, I want the country to do well. But now I think in this case, like,
I think it needs to fail in this case because it needs to be a wake up call.
And I think, from the outside looking in, we need to say, like, no, we're not bailing them out of this.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's what, people keep saying, cause I every now and then, and we'll talk about this when we get into the episode a little more, but we every now and then like to poke the hornet's nest on social media. And I commented on one of the like real news sites that I follow, and it was like the dude giving his speech, and I commented on there, and I was like, just talking about how asinine and insane it is that socialism has been elected. And I was like, this is a proven time and time again. This is a form of government that doesn't work. Like, if you look at the countries that are truly socialist, they're not thriving. And people will be like, oh yeah, but what about Norway and this and that? And they're like, well, but I'm telling you, this is a failed attempt at government. And so I put that comment up. Oh my God, it's gotten tons of comments. I had a guy today. He was like, please share your experience where you lived under this failed regime. And I said, well, thankfully, we have a thing called history, and I don't have to live there to actually understand. I can just read and look at history, and I can know. And that's what I told someone else. Not only have we lost our identity as Americans, but we also have taken any history that's offensive or oppressive, and we have like just eradicated that.
Well, yeah, like I think we've got a pretty good system going right now, in still the normal parts of the country.
Agreed.
Why would I? And again, you take in the fact that, okay, I see how things are in North Korea, and look, people are literally making boats out of trash to try to escape Cuba.
Yeah,
to come to the United States,
But by God, that socialism's just good stuff, man.
You don't see a lot of, all those supermodels down there on South Beach in Miami saying, I got to get out of this capitalist country. Get me on a boat. I want to go to Cuba, it's not a two-way thing where it's like, some people are like, yeah, we'll go over there and hang out. No. I don't know. But anyway,
I think we just got to be, more than ever, we got to be vocal. It's about being proud to be American.
Yeah.
And, that's something we proudly beat our chests about being Americans. I'm still proud to be an American.
I am too. You know what a lot of proud Americans do?
What is that?
They shop at agzaga.com.
You're damn right they do. And what is something they could buy right now?
Well, I mean, I couldn't list it all.
But there's something specific.
The Advent calendar.
That's right.
Did we mention it last week?
I think we did.
Yeah. So for those of you unfamiliar, Advent calendar, it's basically a way for primarily kids, but I mean, some of us still kids at heart.
That's right.
To count down the days,
it's just fun.
December 1 all the way up to 25 for the holiday. So they have this really awesome calendar that each day when your kids or the adults, that day comes, instead of just pulling a number off a calendar or whatever. I think the one you were talking about, we had one that was a Santa Claus, and it was a beard.
Yeah.
And every day, and it had, 1 through 25.
Was it like cloth?
You put a cotton ball up there every day.
See, mine was cloth, and you moved the Santa. It had little almost like little kangaroo pouches.
Well, we had one that was like just like construction paper, like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And then but he was beardless, he's clean shaven basically.
Oh, so you're building the beard up.
And so But then you had like this grid of like 1 through 25. And so every day you would glue a cotton ball up there. And so by the time you got to Christmas Day on the 25th, he had a full blown Santa beard. But
nice.
But this one from agzaga.com
is even more fun than that.
There's 25 individually packed toys. So every day, starting December 1st, all the way up to Christmas, kids, wake up all excited. Get you in the Christmas spirit.
It does. It's just fun. I remember as a kid loving that. And this one's cool. Like one day might have a cow or one will have a calf. And it's a lot of like farm animals and stuff. And like we mentioned in our little promo we did for it, it ain't like your kids are going to be like getting crazy toys. So it's not like spoiling the Christmas toy fun. It's just a cool little gift to get them excited. Yeah, it's literally one for every day.
Yep.
And they've got those. And if you go on there and you can use the code TalkDirt20 and you'll save yourself $20 off your order of $50 or more. Yeah, there's always something you can find on there. I mean,
well, and while we're talking about Christmas, they've got all the other like
bad to the bone toys too.
Yeah, big time toys. But yeah, it's a pretty cool one that they came up with specifically for this holiday season.
That's right. So check it out. Also, we want y'all to leave us 5-star ratings. I don't know if some of y'all paid attention. We had a bad to the bone episode previously, our last one with the Good Ranchers guys. And he straight up said the 999th, the 1000th, and the 1001 raters will receive a year's supply of meat from Good Ranchers. So we are sitting at 700 and something ratings and reviews. If y'all can get us to 1,000 by the end of the year, then like I said, number 99, 999, 1000, and 1001 will receive a year's supply of meat from Good Ranchers. That's pretty awesome. And that will actually still kick off a giveaway that we are also going to put on ourselves as well. Yep. So get us there, guys. Leave us 5-star ratings on all those platforms. Share this with your friends. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and also share it. And I do want to mention, I think there is some slight confusion on our YouTube. I used to use Google Podcasts to listen to my podcast. Well, it went away, and now there's like YouTube Music. I don't ever use that, but there's a podcast on there. Our podcast is available now on YouTube Music. With it being available there, it also uploads the audio only version to our YouTube channel.
To actual YouTube, yeah.
Yeah. And so I think some people have seen, because like episode 210, there will be 2 of them on our page, but one of them has
on our YouTube page. Yeah.
Yes. One of them has the cool thumbnails that Bobby Lee makes, and then the other one will just have our logo. So the one with the cool thumbnail is the video. So if there's been some confusion, just look for the one with the cool thumbnail, and that is the actual video version itself. So yeah.
Which I don't know. I'm leaving to go out of town in like 5 hours. So I don't know that I'll get the YouTube up. The video version for this one, you might have to listen to audio only for at least a brief period of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was something else I was going to add there. Oh wait, I was going to say it makes sense because Google and YouTube are all the same thing now.
Yes. Yeah, guys. We hope y'all enjoyed our last episode with Good Ranchers. Yeah, they were awesome.
That was, well, again, an in-guest studio. It is always just that much better than when we have to do one remotely. Yeah, they were great.
They were. Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. All right. I figured we could do some emails.
Well, and this one wasn't specifically an email, but I told this guy, I said, I'm probably going to mention this on the podcast night. He was messaging me back and forth. Brian London. I know.
Oh, yeah.
Which he has said, he's going to have some free time because he's got a pretty cool background and all things he's involved in ag. But I'm going to give him credit. He floated out there because I put out a video on Instagram about
the beef
prices. And we've mentioned it on here, like beef is not that expensive. I don't even know where this comes from. And I was shocked because I don't buy beef. I mean, I rarely do.
Didn't I tell you this price with Good Ranchers?
$4.29.
See, that's actually even cheaper. I think I said $4.99.
And this was like and you didn't have to buy like the 10-pound, like jumbo bulk.
Yeah, this
pack.
was the big, huge tube snake or whatever we call it.
They had that when it was $4.29, but you could buy it. They had like a 2-pound pack. It was $4.29. Okay. So And I did all the, figuring whatever. And I proved that literally I was going to feed my family for less than the cost of 2 coffees from Starbucks. Anyway, so he had messaged me based off that. And he's been wondering in his conspiracy. And I was like, I think he might be onto something, or it makes a lot of sense. And any good conspiracy theory is going to make sense.
That's right.
But he said the meat packers themselves may be behind pushing the idea that beef is too expensive. Because again, Trump's saying that. I'm like, Trump, you hadn't been in a grocery store since you were probably a teenager.
Yeah.
What? You hadn't been grocery shopping, and you sure haven't been worried about the price of beef.
Yeah.
But and I got to thinking, and he made a good point. It's like, so all the meat packers, of course, we always harp on the big 4. 85% of the cattle slaughtered in the U.S. are controlled by one of them. Like, well, gosh, why would they want to tell people that their product is too expensive? Well, their product is not just beef.
Yeah.
They're in chicken, they're in pork, they're in everything. They are in the protein business. They're even in the fake proteins, or the plant-based proteins, which I remember when I first heard that, I was like, what? But people point out, like, they don't care what protein you eat as long as you're buying it from them.
That's right.
And so right now, because we have had record high cattle prices until the market got tanked, and they're still pretty good, but just not at the all-time highs, their margins on beef were pretty thin. I mean, their biggest input cost is having to buy the cow that they then slaughter.
Yeah.
They're making a lot better margins on their pork, on their chicken, on their turkey, and everything else. And I was like,
so go buy our chicken and our pork.
Well, and right, they couldn't just come out and say that, but they could be like, let's just start trying to convince people that beef's too expensive. He said, actually, what made him think about it, he had a pack of chicken, and per pound, it cost more than like ground beef.
Really?
Then he was like, and it tastes like shit compared to ground beef. And I'm like, you're right.
Yes.
But, and he raises a lot of chickens. Like, he has chicken houses. Like, but in the other factor there, and probably the big reason why, of course, they're able to maintain really good margins on those other proteins, there are no independent pork or chicken producers. They're all contract growers, which, again, we need to have somebody in here like him to talk about exactly how that works.
Yeah.
But they're not just a totally independent chicken farmer that when your chickens get ready for slaughter, you can, take them to the auction or take the highest bid. No, you got to already be contracted and growing for a specific company.
Yeah, he might be onto something there.
Yeah, I was like, the more I thought about it, I was like, makes a lot of sense.
It does.
That could totally make sense where they're just trying to, and if they can kill the demand for beef, not only does that mean people are going to be buying their other products,
but they can buy beef super cheap.
Right. If they can kill the demand, they can be like, go back to all the cattle producers, be like, see here, nobody even wants to buy your stuff anyway because it's too damn expensive.
Yep.
But yeah, I was like, that might.
That's an interesting
makes
theory.
As much sense as any other theory I've heard. So
it does.
But anyway.
It does. Well, hey, and speaking of beef, I meant to say this earlier. I had a buddy text me today. He said he went to Good Ranchers and bought some beef today after our episode. And he said on there, I guess when you purchase, it says, how did you hear about us? And he put in there, man, Talk Dirt to Me podcast. So I do want to encourage you guys. Hey, if you're listening, go buy you something from Good Ranchers to support them because they're awesome guys. But on there, if it says, how'd you hear about us? Tell them it was us.
Well, I am intrigued to try their chicken. Well, like they said, a lot of people come for the steaks and they stay for the chicken and the pork. I'm like, well, because I really don't need to order the beef to begin with.
Yeah.
But and check out the seafood too.
Yep, for sure. All right, we got some emails. This is a short one.
It's been a while since we've answered any emails.
It is. We probably got some angry people. Titus, he writes, Talk Dirt and Barn Talk episode. Great show. Keep it up. That would be a fun combination.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think Torque and us, we need to make that happen. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, they I was just listening to one of theirs today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them. They're good. I've said they're like the Yankee version of us.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I feel like.
Yeah.
They're sometimes their language even gets worse than ours.
Yeah, I mean, they're not just absolutely ridiculous.
None of us are.
They're just unfiltered.
They are like we are. None of us are to Joe Rogan level on the language.
Well, and like their show is literally called Barn Talk, and it's like, hey, it's just like we would talk around the barn, and which we have. I've always kind of say it's like we're sitting on the tailgate, just hanging out, sipping some whiskey or a cold beer after the end of a long, hard day, yeah. No women or kids are around. You're gonna cut up.
You cut loose. My God, you should have heard some of the locker room talk today. It was me, Dad, Brock, and Brian. And no, it was actually, at one point it was us, and then it was later, it was me and Brock and Brian and Mr. Robert. Yeah. So we had from 34 years old to 83 years old. Yeah. And some of the foul discussions we were having.
Just dudes being dudes.
Yeah, conversations you can't have at your workplace.
Oh, yeah. You'd be amazed, though. In the vet clinic, I mean, it is predominantly women that are on staff. And,
yeah.
We definitely, we try to keep it,
professional.
We don't want any HR violations, kind of thing. But when really we keep it clean as far as that. But I guess I was more getting at women are just mean to each other.
Yeah,
like
they are
to each other. But anyway,
all right, we got a message here from Thomas.
Did y'all see my dad today? Because he was rolling hay.
Okay, I didn't see him.
I guess y'all never.
We were out in Shelby County.
I've been like my schedule the last in and out of town. But Dad normally would have been at the office today, and he was like, he came in for just a minute, and he was wearing his farm clothes, but I didn't even have time to talk to him. And then I saw him tonight because I had to go pick up my son from their house. I was like, "What? Did you cut hay today?" He's like, "No, I was baling hay." I was like, "Well, I hadn't even had a chance to talk to you."
Yeah. No, we were out in Shelby County cutting some real fine beans.
115 bushel.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. On them, maybe total on the whole farm, 115 bushel. Yeah, I had some average 16 bushels today. All right. Thomas writes, "Hey guys, love the show and have listened to every episode at least twice."
Damn.
That's pretty awesome. And actually, I feel that we owe Thomas an apology, and you're going to hear why. I'm from Manitoba, Canada. Now, we have picked on our Canadian friends a few times.
I think we pick on just about everybody.
Well, that's true. We do. But like, we've got some pretty, what scent? What is that?
These are.
Bobby Lee's over here like,
and that's
tropical fruit Alps.
I always get when I order them, I order like the variety pack. And so, yeah, these are kind of fruity.
Yeah, it is. I haven't had nicotine in a month.
They're very aromatic. Yeah.
Yeah.
My kids are always like, "Ooh, what do you got?" I'm like, "You want one?"
Yeah, man, that smells good. It smells like a juicy fruit.
Yeah. And which is kind of at first, because I expect more like tobacco. So I want like mint or wintergreen or something. Yeah. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah. All right. So he said here, we got love for our Canadian brothers. I am still glad the Dodgers won the World Series over the Blue Jays.
Man. That was brutal. I watched very little of it, but partly because I was pissed off about the way a football game was going that night. I flipped it over and I was like, USA. I mean, if you can still consider LA part of the USA.
Yeah, it is like the gayest.
Barely.
I was going to say, it's like the gayest. I would trade.
The only way you could get me to root for LA
is against a non-American team.
Right. And
yes.
again,
nothing against Canadians. Any team that's not American.
If I had my choice of living in LA or living in rural Canada, I would choose rural Canada.
Well, I was actually going to say I would trade LA for Manitoba, Canada. There you go, Thomas. All right. Let me get to this. Thomas says, I'm from Manitoba, Canada. We have a small Saskatoon berry farm on 80 acres that we also recently started to run our own cattle on. We had feeder steers the last 3 summers that helped us raise the capital along with the berries. To invest in our own herd, and I'm willing to get into some numbers on what it actually costs to get started in on cow-calf pairs. We bought back in the spring, and they have since calved in April and May. We bought 2 more open heifers and 4 butcher steers to finish out for our buyers. And this is like, he's telling us all this stuff he does already. And then here's more. I'm a plumber / HVAC tech by trade, and I'm learning everything from scratch with the help from some neighbors. My parents didn't farm, and I was raised in the city, so everything is new to me. It's just cool, man. And just hard-working bastard here. So here's our total so far this past year. Bred heifers. So he's got 5 bred heifers at 43. Dang it. So $43.50 a piece.
Are these Canadian dollars?
You know what? I bet it is.
Yeah.
That's got to be Canadian
And I
dollars.
have no idea what the
Conversion
exchange
is.
rate or whatever.
I don't
is
either.
there.
I know it would be more for them. Like,
Yeah.
4,350 a head might equal what would like 15 or 2,000 a head or something. Maybe 2,500.
I'll put it in the Terminator.
Yeah, do that. So he's got 5 bred heifers, and that total comes out to 21,750. 21,750.
Well, and bred heifers, like $4,350 American. Like,
is that about right? Sounds high as hell.
Well, for like some registered, like as Corbett Wall would say, if they got diamonds in their ass, kind of thing. Like they got all the bells and whistles there. They got this and that. Like that's not unbelievable for some of these like really specialty sales.
Yeah.
Now, you're not buying bred heifers at the local auction, sale barn for that. I mean, nobody.
Well, he said that's bred heifers, and then open heifers were 2,000 a piece. That's probably getting pretty close, ain't it?
Yeah, depending on how big they are. Yeah, I mean,
2,000. Maybe he went ahead and did USD for us.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know, a 700-pound heifer should bring more than that anyway.
Yeah. All right, I bet this is USD. Thomas?
This says it fluctuates, but exchange rate is typically around $1 being equivalent to $1.35 to $1.40 Canadian.
Okay.
So $1,400 would be like 1,000. But yeah, I don't know if he's doing that. Well, an 800-pound steer worth $3,500, that probably is Canadian.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, guys, he's given us a lot of Canadian figures. Thomas, you've given us, we need USDs.
Yeah, because that would be an 800-pound steer. That'd be $2,500 American.
Okay.
Sounds
about right.
That's about right. Yeah.
Yeah. And he did give us some numbers. The total number for him, here's what I'll do. I will sum this up here. Here's what he's...
Yeah, we don't need to do too much math on there.
No. Bobby Lee's already proven that's a bad thing for us to do.
Yes.
So here is all. He's got bred heifers, open heifers, 800-pound steers. He's got 5 bred heifers, 2 open heifers, and 4 800-pound steers. He's got a 1972 John Deere 4320 with bale spear, fencing, shelter panels, head gate.
He gave us his whole dang...
Everything, man. Cattle trailer, quad, custom hay, 18 acres of custom hay, even the pounds.
I have better records now of his operation than I do in my own.
I was going to say, I really don't have any good, like this is, you're making me look bad.
Yeah.
Winter waterer, literally everything in there. The total is $84,950.
Yeah.
Now that's Canadian probably. So, I don't know what that would be, but he says here
1.4, that'd be $61,000. Yeah.
Yeah. He says here, by the way, 300-pound calves are selling for $8 to $10 a pound here in Canada.
Yeah. And when they get that light, it can be ridiculous. I mean,
isn't a bottle calf like $1,000 around here?
Well, the last time I was at the sale barn, which the market has cooled off since then, bottle calf, there was one bottle calf there, which was an older bottle calf, like wasn't, just a few days old, wasn't like in real, it was kind of at the point where it was well trained on the bottle, wasn't just going to die on you.
Yeah.
I mean, they can all die on you, but
yeah.
$1,200.
That's crazy.
It's probably a 150, 200-pound calf.
That is crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why they sell them by head and not by pound, because nobody would have been willing to.
I was going to say that. Yeah. I mean,
a 200-pound, I mean, that'd have been what? $60 a pound. Yeah. Like no, the auctioneer wouldn't have even gotten. Yeah. When you sell them by the head, well, people are looking at that thing and it's thinking, well, if I can get it to 600 pounds, it's worth $2,000, or better,
That's crazy. He says, thank you guys for all you do. God bless. Thomas, we appreciate you sharing that, man. It's, that's actually pretty impressive. Like those cattle, a tractor, the fencing and everything, all this in there for.
Yeah. That's all his own farm assets.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive in my opinion. So keep it up, Thomas. That's really awesome, man. I appreciate you letting us know.
Yeah, we love, I mean, I'm sure Canada's the same way, where they need more young guys getting in the game.
Yeah.
Canadians are just like, I mean, I don't know. Other than y'all's, and I say this, I'm not an expert on Canadian politics. I feel like it's a mess, but can't be much worse than New York City.
No.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of America I mean, well, they are America. They're part of North America.
Yep.
They're, I don't know. Yeah. They're like almost Americans.
Almost Americans. Yeah. Nick writes in, I have been listening to your podcast for about a year now and look forward to them each week. Being from eastern Wisconsin originally and now living in western Minnesota, my God, man, you've got to get out of there. No, I don't know. Which part of Minnesota is the raging Muslim part?
Well, Minneapolis, like the Twin Cities area. Like Minnesota, like you get into rural Minnesota. And big agriculture. That's where a millennial farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and then, of course, which I'm going to be up pretty close to there sometime here in the next day or two. I mean, it's borders the Dakotas, and the Dakotas are obviously
there. You go,
big time.
I'm just picking on you. Picking on you.
He said Western Minnesota.
Western Minnesota.
Yeah, so he's basically a Dakotan.
There you go, a Dakotan. He says, I like to hear about farming in different regions. I can relate to Bobby Lee's struggles with homosexuality. Yeah,
I mean, it's we've always got June. I mean, I was born in June.
Yeah, he says, I can relate to Bobby Lee's struggles with working full-time and trying to farm. I currently work full-time in a feed mill. My wife also works full-time, and we have 4 kids under the age of 7. Whew. Yeah, y'all are all over the place.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. 4 kids. We are currently raising Holstein and Holstein Angus cross bottle calves.
Yep.
As of the end of September, we've done 568 calves this year. Man, that's pretty bad, the bomb. We are also trying to grow our lamb flock. Between our 3 lamb crops this year, we will lamb in 130. Is it ewes? Ewes. Sorry.
Ewes, Logan.
I'm not much of a lamb guy.
Rams and ewes.
Ewes. We will lamb in 130 ewes. We are aiming for 300 to 400 ewes eventually. Trying to make hay and grow crops while working full-time has me frustrated, and we have made the decision to fence in all of our ground and plant it to grass and legumes. Since I won't have enough animals to graze all our land, we will be renting the pasture land to a beef farmer and rotationally graze. Since all our land is going to pasture, we will purchase all our feed needs. Some years we will be money ahead, and some years it will cost us more, but we know it will be the right decision. This is our way of helping bring commodity grain prices up for Logan. LOL. Keep up the good work, Nick. Well, keep it up because my prices are creeping up.
Yeah, I had feed delivered today. Most expensive feed I've had to buy. When I've been buying it in bulk. We finally, and I knew it was going to, but it went over 300 a ton.
Yep.
It had been just under 300 a ton. It was just a little over. I'd love to, because our dads got their start doing that.
Yeah.
Bottle calves, which, I think most of our audience probably, pretty well versed. But yeah, dairies, a lot of dairies don't. Their end product is the milk, and so they go ahead and sell the calves, and they're just a few days old.
Yep.
But I wonder, and he could write back in, or it talks about. I wonder if they are doing like a contract deal where they're just growing them out for the dairy.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Or are they buying them? Because I wonder what the market is like for that. Buying a day old or 2 or 3 day old. Especially, the beef on dairy has gotten to be a big thing. If a dairy is not needing to keep back heifers to put in their milking herd, they got smart. They're like, well, if we're just going to get rid of these calves anyway.
Careful, you offended a whole generation of people with this kind of comment.
Well, people are idiots.
In our previous episode.
Well, it wasn't in our episode. It was on the Instagram that were knocking people that eat dairy cows for beef. Like, hell no, eat whatever you want. Ben was just making a damn good point, and he was right.
Yes.
But yeah, I just wonder what the market is for if you're buying, because obviously that calf that's Angus crossed with a Holstein, well, he's black. He's worth pretty good money. I wonder what you have to pay for.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to know.
Just those bottle calves.
Right back into us, Nick, and give us a little more specifics.
Because that's even something I've looked at. I'm like, man, but one of our problems is we don't have dairies in our area. And every now and then I'll play around online with, some of the Superior Livestock, some of that stuff where you can, bid and buy calves, and they'll have like some dairy cross steers. And they usually bring pretty close to what just a straight black, Angus cross, just a beef Angus cross, so the straight beef calf would.
Yeah.
Then I'm always worried. I'm like, well, yeah, I get these suckers up to 700-800 pounds. I got to then have a market that's specifically looking for those animals. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Right back in, Nick. Give us some more specifics. We're intrigued. Speaking of ewes, I've considered sheep.
Yeah.
Just from the solar panels that I've lost all the ground to. They're going to regenerative sheep farming. And the guy that does their sheep is in Jackson, Tennessee. And I'm like,
that brings the sheep down there.
Yeah. Like, man, that's pretty good drive.
Live there year round, or do they just bring them in, let them graze for a few weeks? And then
I don't know.
Do that 2 or 3 times a year?
I don't know. I'm really not sure.
I've seen like on Instagram where people, and they're not doing it specifically with solar panels, but they have a herd of goats. And if you have like just
they rent the goats.
Yeah, really rough. That they come in there and like put up temporary fence, like turn the goats out there for like 3 days, and it is unreal.
Yeah.
I think they were actually, I should remember this. I don't know if I made it up, but around the campus at UT, in certain parts, like there's railroad and some of it's kind of some rough ground. And I believe it was a lot of kudzu.
Yeah.
They're like just impossible to like mow it and whatnot. And I want to say they were using goats to kind of control.
Probably.
In those areas.
They're bad at the bone. I've seen Marcy and I have kicked around the idea of like expanding our goat herd a little more and renting the goats out.
Yeah. Somebody's got a 2-acre lot that's just, can't
rough.
Really bush hog it. It's too muddy, too grown up. Yeah.
My goats will like eat until they almost kill themselves.
Well, the biggest thing would be, how do you fence them in?
Well, they run, from what I saw, these guys run, like they run a few hot wires. And then the goats have big tracking, like necklaces on.
Well, that's my wheels are turning as we're saying. There's getting to be a thing, and I actually did a little inquiry on a company that's doing, because obviously we've always had the shock collars you put on a dog with the underground fence.
Yeah.
Well, now it's gotten to where you can put those GPS collars on your dog, and you can just go like online and be a satellite map, set a boundary. Well, now they've got it to where you can do it with cattle. Well, if you could do that with those goats.
Well, and that's the one.
Which is one of the things with cattle, like, because I inquired about it and it was just really expensive. But if you've only got, especially if you're running 100 mama cows, or I would really, because it could potentially do away with any need for fencing at all.
Yeah, see, that would be
Once
awesome.
They're trained to it. But like, if you had this small herd of goats, say you got 15 of them, and they're like, and obviously you're just going to keep those because you're not turning those over because you're growing out calves like I'm planning on doing. Like, they're going to be yours just for doing this mowing more or less for you. You could have them really well trained to it.
Oh yeah.
And once you got them trained to it, I bet, they start walking over here and it kind of vibrates and they're like, go that way.
Goats are pretty damn smart.
Yeah.
They're
smarter than anybody wants to give them credit for.
They are. Yeah. And I told Bobby Lee, my beloved Dolly, she bit the dust today. One of my OGs, Bernice and Dolly. That was my first 2 goats. They have passed on to the goat heaven. All right. Tex writes in, just listen to episode number 208. A lot of thoughts on this one. I'll start out on the series side. First, we run a John Deere 9760 or 9770 STS on our farm. Been about 7 to 8 years ago, we ran what we believe is a fence post or something equivalent through the combine. Not on purpose, he says.
Well, I mean, I wasn't sure how smart y'all were, but yeah.
Yeah. He said this happened at one of our farms that butts up to a 4-lane highway, so we believe it came off a trucker car, and with the dust, we didn't see it in time. I understand how that could happen. But sure as hell heard it go through the combine. Had to have Deere come out and do the repairs, not as extensive as yours, but either way, we claimed it on our insurance. As expected, by many of us would have, as expected, many of us would have the thing they had a new insurance agent from the city trying to tell them that they did it on purpose. He said, and here he quotes his exact words, new elevator parts for the tractor arms. New elevator. This is what the agent told him. They did it so that they could get new elevator parts for the tractor arms. And he's got that in quotations, like that was actually the guy's exact words. So that shows how knowledgeable the fella is.
Yeah.
He said, needless to say, we changed insurance agents after we got through that claim. Keep your head up, Logan. We have been there as well. Now for the funny side. Bobby Lee, I'm not sure I would want to mess with you if I was an ATF agent after hearing all about how you got juggled by that bull and knowing you're still living to talk about it with us. On top of being a vet, I'm guessing you do all Ringley Brothers vet work when they're in town, so I definitely know you have to handle them elephants and giraffes, not counting the lions and bears. I'd say you've gotten down to your fighting weight, and I heard Logan say it's Squat-tober, so I don't have to worry about me putting my dancing shoes on. Love listening to the podcast. Keep up the good work, fellers. Quote of the day. When things go wrong, just be like the old plow horse. Just keep your head down and keep working. It will get done, and it will work out before you know it. Thanks, Tex. Appreciate that, Tex. That's just a good email.
Yeah. That's kind of my motto, like there at the end where, I always joke, I'm like, Larry the Cable Guy was a great philosopher.
Get her done.
You just got to get her done.
Yeah.
Like there's been so many times where I've been like, this really sucks. All right, just get it done.
Yeah.
Just get it done. I mean, just do it.
I told someone.
Nike, whatever. Like,
just do it, man.
The job needs to be done. You do it.
I've told people that this year, farming, I'm just enjoying harvest. I'm probably going to come out pretty poorly again, like everybody else I've talked to. Man, you know what? It is what it is. We'll figure out a way through it. And that's kind of how I feel about it. So, Tex, we appreciate that, man. Yeah, you definitely know when you run something through the combine because it sounds horrendous going through the combine. So
it kind of reminded me of, I was listening to another podcast. The guy was on there and they were actually putting up some chicken houses and some of the neighbors weren't happy about it, but he, went through the whole process. They got approval to do it. They put them, they weren't like right next to a neighbor's house or anything.
Yeah.
And they found in their cornfield where people were driving like rebar.
Oh, crap.
Like into the ground in the rows of corn. And,
well, I hope that people, were they able to like press charges?
Well, I don't think
they could catch who did it.
Caught who did it. But I mean, clearly it was done on purpose. So, and of course, impossible to see that.
Yeah.
And they'd run that.
What the, man? Yeah, that's.
I think that was one of the things he said. And like a whole bucket of nails, like just dumped in their driveway and just people just, oh man.
Man.
And I hate to even say that to even give anybody the idea of like, that's something you could do to
today.
A farmer you didn't like.
I had my SIG on me today. I always carry. And one of my landlords, there you go. Well, you got what is that, a 226?
No, it's
is that a
365. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Which one is that? What model?
Yeah, the 365X.
Okay, so mine's the XL, but it's smaller than that.
Oh,
that's kind of weird. The XL is smaller than that. Yeah. But I had the 365, XL, and I got a red dot on mine as well. But I had my shirt tucked behind it because we were in the field, so I wasn't trying to conceal it. And one of my old landlords, he's out there, and I walked over and we were talking, and he goes, "You think you're gonna have to shoot somebody?" And I said, "Man, I don't go anywhere without this thing." And so,
it's almost offensive if you don't. Like if I only wear it certain places.
Well, then I'm judging the area or making a sweeping generalization. But,
and I don't think anybody go into many situations thinking, I'm probably gonna have to shoot somebody today.
Yes.
When I get here, like, no, I think it probably kind of happens.
I'm just going to, I doubt it's
today's the day I'm gonna have to shoot somebody. Like now, if that was the case, I'd probably just stay in bed.
That's right. Yeah. But that's my thinking, guys. Don't go drive rebar in there. A lot of farmers, like I said, we're generally packing heat. And I'm going to tell you, if I caught somebody driving rebar into my field trying to sabotage and stuff, it would have some very poor ramifications. That would be really bad.
Might run a body through a combine.
I was going to say, I might see the gun would be the best option for them, compared to what I would want to do. All right. JD writes in, not a question or complaint, but more so something to laugh about. More than once, I'll turn on the show on a long trip with my wife, and it almost never fails. You guys start talking about boobs or something, and I get in trouble. He said, "Ha ha!" And this show is one of the more wholesome ones I listen to regularly. Yeah,
there are certain podcasts that I listen to, like if I'm going through a drive-through or something, like, yeah, I'm going to hit pause before we get here.
Yeah,
but nothing's as bad as your wife listening to 50 Shades of Grey on audiobook.
That's true.
Like,
that's
good
true.
Lord.
I know
my wife does some audiobooks, and like every now and then I'll be like, I'm like, what the hell? Like
his erect penis.
I'm like, you'll listen to this stuff, but you don't want to get that. You don't get near that freaky.
That's
like,
why she's getting her rocks off to these books over here.
Like, good Lord.
You need to start reading to her at night.
Yeah. You got to be, which I'm sure you've seen the stuff where, of course, we spend too much time on social media. It'll be like a video. It'll be like deer hunting or something, nothing bad. It's like, you need to turn the sound up. And you're watching it. It's a good video. And then all of a sudden it cuts
into the girl moaning.
Yeah.
Gosh, dang it. Like, yes. And it's super loud.
Yeah, it's like, she's like, oh, you're going to make me come.
Yes.
And you got to be like, if you're, which people be like, I swear it was a prank.
Yes. Like, and like I said, the volume will be like 1,000. Like when it comes, like if I just,
they'd be like, you need to turn your sound up to really hear this.
Yeah. And I mean, those are the worst. Cause then in there. Yeah, man.
You're sitting at the dinner table with a bunch of people or something, which you shouldn't be on your phone anyway. Damn it.
That's right. Here's one we actually missed. JD, we appreciate you writing in.
Yeah. Well, try to stay out of trouble.
Yeah. Try to stay out of trouble. I can't promise we won't talk about boobs because that is one of our favorite things. But just, hey, I mean, you're a married man. You said your wife. So just tell her like, hey, look, we all love boobs. All right.
It's kind of like job security for them.
It is. Yeah, it really is. This is man, we missed this one somehow. I apologize to you, Brett. This is back in September, early September. He says, been listening for about a year now and look forward to your shows every week. I have a job in town and we farm about 500 acres in Michigan. Just opened a farm store this spring and taking some inspiration from the Little Blue Farm Store. Man, I probably need to be taking inspiration from you. He said, we also bag a lot of our corn, wheat, and oats to sell for feed to the hobby farmers that have taken over the area. We sell a lot of small squares of straw and hay as well. Making wheat and oats are most profitable crops. Love the show. Keep up the great work. Hoping to get the steer ration from Bobby Lee as I want to try something different, finishing our steers and what we're currently doing. I am copying your email now.
Yeah, by the time you hear this, you should already have it in your inbox.
Yes, I'm sending that to Bobby Lee. Just sent that to him. Do apologize, man. Somehow, the email stuff, some of the stuff gets kind of buried in there. So I do apologize. Hope you're not too mad at us. All right. Now the next one.
He quit listening a month ago because we hadn't replied.
He did. He was like, those sons of bitches. All right. We got Bobby Lee's favorite person, Dan. Dan writes in. We actually have 2 emails back to back from Dan.
Well, he might be happy because we're anti-Muslim mayor.
That's true. That's true. So Dan writes in and he wrote a long thing here, Dan. You wrote in about, I want to preface this to you, Dan. Whenever people reference, and I don't know if you're this way, Bobby Lee, but I am, because Dan references episode 205 on here. Episode 205 to me is so long ago, I don't remember what the hell was talked about.
When somebody referenced 208 a minute ago, I went to our YouTube so I could look at the thumbnail.
Yeah. So, I don't remember anything. And then he even actually references episode 197. That might as well have been 5 years ago. Man.
Yeah, because even when I see like our title, I'm like, I don't remember everything we discussed. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, he just talks about on there about.
He would probably fire back. Well, it takes you so long to reply to my email.
Yes.
I don't even remember typing that email to you.
Yes. He wrote a thing in there, and I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of didn't understand because I just don't remember the episodes, but it was kind of about swearing and how people swear a lot now. And I couldn't tell I can't tell if you're criticizing us for swearing sometimes, Dan, or not. Because it didn't sound like it. So I'm just going to skip to the question. He says, question, by the time you read this email, you'll know the answer. Trump is going to make some kind of agreement with China where China will buy U.S. soybeans. Has or will this actually help American farmers?
Well, he might be right, because I guess we do have a deal of some sort, or at least the markets have reacted as if they think we will get a deal. Or have they officially agreed?
They've made a deal. There's, I don't remember how many. They've made a deal for purchases this year, and I think they've got a deal for next year. And it's supposed to be for 3 years, but they'll reevaluate every year.
One of the criticisms I'd heard another podcast talking about is like Trump's calling it a big victory, which, I mean, that's what politicians do. Anytime they do anything,
but they're purchasing less grain than they previously did.
Well, or it was like, we're just getting back to where we were before the trade war. So like, for it to really be a victory, he needs to be like, no, and now they're buying even more.
Double, yeah.
Well, or I guess you could say, well, now they're back to buying what they would have been buying, and we've made gains in other trade markets.
Yeah.
So the country as a whole, the trade imbalance is working out, even if they're not buying more grain than they would have normally.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so has or will this actually help American farmers on this deal? Yes, it will, and it already has. Our prices, I mean, a month ago I was selling beans at $10.40. And today tomorrow morning, I'll have 2 trucks loaded and hauled, and they'll be getting $11.40. So a dollar difference. They're up a lot. Now, the worrisome factor to this is because now they're kind of backtracking on the aid that's coming for farmers, supposedly. And the problem with that is these prices are great. Well, they're not great prices, but they're getting better to where they need to be. Really
great compared to a month ago.
Yeah. Yes. A lot of economists figure $12 is really where we need to be for production costs covered. But so we're at about $11.40. Well, the problem is most of us are just about done harvesting. And unless you had storage, you've already sold your grain. I mean, I got 150 acres left to go. Like I am about done.
Oh, do you have the combine back?
I did. I got it back this week. Yeah. And she purrs like a kitten now. But it's man, we're not gonna catch the high prices. Hopefully, like we can get some prices for next year is what we're thinking now. But like it hasn't happened quick enough to save us from the losses this year, and also the yields and everything. So Brooke Rollins, I listened to a podcast with her, and she kind of like, it almost sounds like they're kind of backtracking on the aid. And a lot of farmers are like, well, now, hey, wait a minute now. You know, we still got our asses kicked. Like the deals are great. We're glad, but they're really only going to help us for next year. But I mean, if we don't survive this year, it ain't really going to matter.
Right.
So that's kind of their thing. But yes, Dan, this will help. It has already helped improve the prices. So, and for reference, prices are substantially higher now than they actually were in like Biden's last year. So people that do want to hate on Trump, I will tell you, I mean, under Biden, I sold some beans like 10, probably 10, 18.
Well, that was the whole thing. Even when the prices were kind of at their low point this year, you know, everybody was blaming, on, we look back, like actually prices are just nearly identical to what they were a year ago.
Yes. Yep. So, all right. Appreciate it, Dan. Okay. Now Dan wrote again. Dear Bobby Lee and Logan, I'm afraid our wires will get crossed again, so please pay no attention to the previous email except for the question at the bottom.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
We basically did.
He said, I don't think American history is part of your channel, and why go off topic? Keep up the good work, Dan. We both love history, but yes, we do not consider ourselves to be an American history channel.
Yeah, I don't even know what he's really referencing there.
It was something to do with the swearing on there. So, damn it, Dan, we appreciate your email. All right, Kelsey, one of our longtime listeners, he writes in, and this was a cool question. I saw this. let me read this question, and then I got something I want to share. Kelsey writes in, what are some good items to have for a basic farm truck build using a regular pickup bed? This is a great question. And actually, I told Bobby Lee something that I think would be cool, and I'd love to get some feedback from y'all. I think it'd be cool. It's November 5th when we're recording this. I think that we ought to put out like a Talk Dirt to Me Christmas guide. You know, you see a lot of these, like, you know, Jack Carr always does one. And I was like, man, there needs to be a Talk Dirt to Me one. Like, in some that, like, you know, our listeners, if your wives, hell, if you're like me, your wife and your mom or any of your family's always like, you are so damn hard to shop for because you buy everything you need when you need it. So it's like, man, if we put out a cool list, hell, then you could be like, hey, go check out the list here.
And I know, a lot of our listeners are obviously, we love our female listeners, a lot of men. Yeah, they could then forward it to their wife and girlfriend, like, hey.
That's right.
I know you didn't listen and hear them, talk about all these awesome gifts, but here. Yeah.
And we got some women that would probably also enjoy a lot of the stuff that'll be on these lists. So I think we're going to compile a like official Talk Dirt to Me Christmas guide for this year. Let us know, give us some feedback, go to talkdirtpodcast.com and go to the contact page. Let us know in there, comment on YouTube, just anywhere, and let us know if you would like to see that. We could send it out email, put it on our website, all the good stuff on our Instagram as well. So Kelsey writes, what are some good items to have for a basic farm truck build using a regular pickup bed? I can just tell you, like, so I've got a full blown service truck that I work out of, but my pickup, I've got a toolbox in it, and it's like,
but like you, because you've got the other truck, you probably don't keep much beyond just basic tools in there.
And that's what I'm saying. I have almost everything that I have that is motorized has essentially some toolbox in it. And the number one, the absolute essentials is a set of standard and metric wrenches. I always have wrenches.
Set of booster cables.
I also am a believer that you need a hammer, because you can always solve a lot of problems with a good hammer.
Yep. And
then I carry a pry bar. I have a pry bar and all of them. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy, but like in my pickup, I've got an actual, like, it's a DeWalt box that I can just completely take out of my truck. And inside it, I've got metric and standard wrenches. I've got a metric and standard set of sockets and a 1/2-inch drive. I think you need a good 1/2-inch drive ratchet. A pair of channel locks, because you can do a lot of crap with a pair of channel locks. A decent pair of pliers. And I would even say you need a set of dikes. Not Ellen DeGeneres. You actually need a real set of dikes. And
well, I would say if you needed a set, you need like Ellen and her partner.
Yeah. So you need Ellen and Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
That's 2 dikes.
Yeah. One's got because we're talking a single cab pickup. So one's riding right there in the middle, right next to you, and the other one's riding shotgun.
I think I'd put Ellen in the middle.
Yeah, just for
like
simple comfort. Yeah.
Yes.
Especially if you got a manual. I mean,
that's right. Yeah, that's right. But you need that. I'm trying to think what all I got in mind. I always keep just a good flathead and Phillips head screwdrivers in there.
Probably some form of a semi-automatic rifle.
Yeah, you gotta have a firearm in your vehicle at all times. If I were building like,
and I mean, I say that kind of joking, but like,
it's serious as well.
I guarantee you, if I take my rifle out of my truck,
you'll see a coyote.
And when I'm checking cows in the morning, I will see a coyote. And not only will I see one, he'll be sitting there at about 75 yards, just staring at me.
Yeah.
For minutes. Now, when I've got the rifle, I either don't see them at all, or like I see them like a glimpse of them as they run off.
Yep. That is the truest thing ever. I used to keep an AR-10 in my combine, and every time I had it with me, I would never see anything.
You'd clean it out, or you need to.
And then sure enough, it'd be just a herd of coyotes. Like, yeah, I mean, but I would encourage you in your pickup, because I've thought about this in mine, because sometimes I like to work out of mine, especially in the wintertime. If it's real crappy or something, I just enjoy taking my pickup. And if I got to go through mud, my pickup does better than my service truck. And I've thought about putting an L-shaped fuel tank in there, and then putting a toolbox up in the L, or I like the slant boxes. I've got a slant box on my service truck that I've been using for a while now. That's like the Montezuma's or whatever, but mine's not
mount one like up on the side of the bed.
Yep. Yeah. I like those because they hold a bunch of wrenches, and you can have, I mean, man, I've in my slant box, I've got from a 1/4 inch all the way up to like I might have a 2-inch wrench in mine.
I've got one on my service truck, but not on my, our just regular pickup. But
I've been wanting to put one on my pickup.
Mine needs to be organized so bad. I can always find what I need, but like, damn it, if I ever had like some help, like, it's like my office at home. My wife's like, good God. I was like, I know it looks like chaos in here.
Oh, my office is bad.
I know where everything is.
Now, see, we've got a system like on my service truck. Don't
you dare go try to clean up my office. I will immediately know where nothing is.
Oh yeah. Well, see, on my service truck, I actually just went to Arbor Freight because I had a road chest and it went to hell. And so I needed a big chest on my service truck. And so I bought a US General, one of those. It's pretty nice. I actually really have been impressed with this toolbox, but, it's got the lid that like opens up, and it's got a good container up in the top. And I've got a couple of pry bars in there. I got a big torque wrench, torque ratchet in there. And, but then the top drawer is all standard wrenches, and the second drawer is all all metric wrenches. The same thing pretty much. And I've got ratchet wrenches in both of them. And then my third drawer is what all do I have in it? Because I've got everything situated. The very bottom is my big wrenches. And so, man, and then on the right, I got my pliers in one, and I got an electrical box. So,
which a lot of these toolboxes you can also find on agzacca.com.
That's right. That's right.
I've got the slant style that I've got mounted on my truck. I got from Agzacca.
Yes. Man, that's what I think you need. I would encourage you to get, they make some narrow fuel tanks
good
too.
Assortment of tools. Yeah.
Yep. Tools and a fuel tank. I wish really bad that I had a fuel tank in my pickup, because there are my pickup my service truck's 4-wheel drive, but I mean, it's a 4,500 Ram. It has some all-terrains on it, and the bed I've got a welder that weighs like 1,000 pounds on there, which is I love that thing. But I got a Bobcat welder on there, and then all my tools, a fuel tank, an air compressor. I mean, it's no telling what that truck weighs.
Gonna get stuck.
Yes, I'm going to get stuck. My pickup, I mean, it's still not good for off-road. It's a 2,500 Duramax, but I've got 37-inch mud tires, and I'll just let that son of a gun eat. So I would love to put, they even make that skinny tank. I think it holds probably like 75 gallons of diesel. Like that still, I wouldn't mind that. So you could put it in there, put another box, but you got to have, I'm going to tell you the essentials. You have to have standard and metric wrenches, and it ain't got to be crazy amount of sets. Just go get you a standard metric set. You got to have a 1/2-inch drive ratchet with standard and metric set. You need a hammer. You need a pry bar, channel locks, pair of pliers, a flathead, and a Phillips head screwdriver. And I would say one good punch, because if you're going to have your hammer, sometimes you just need a punch. So I'd have that. Would you add anything else? Just absolute bare bones essentials.
I wouldn't call this a bare bones essential.
Cocaine.
Yeah, I was about to say you need a kilo of cocaine. I probably just keep it under the seat. You don't want it in the back where it could get spoiled by moisture.
That's true. That's true. Keep your cocaine, keep your powder dry.
But something that's really nice is battery powered impact.
Oh, well, I mean, that's the Cadillac now. Yeah, now you're getting, is it in Milwaukee's? I don't know if they're made in USA. I doubt they are, but they are the baddest bastards on the planet.
I remember when people were using them, like, it can't be nearly as good as a pneumatic one. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They are. It actually hurt my feelings because when I was machining, we had a tool guy that would come, and Ingersoll Rand was one of the brands we could get, and we could get a deal on them. And Ingersoll had a titanium. It was the model titanium pneumatic. It's a 1/2-inch impact, and it's like, I just remember it was so badass. It was like the Nut Buster, like the Nut Buster 9000, like just made you freaking pumped up to read it. And so I got this thing, and I mean, it was like the most badass pneumatic there is. And it is a bad son of a bitch, but that Milwaukee is badder than that.
Yeah. Well, I've got that thing, and it's just like, man, when we went to a horse show last weekend, because I'm always, driving 400 miles on the interstate, like, we have to change the flat. Like, yeah, we've got a lug wrench, but like, and I forgot to throw it. Normally when we go on a long trip, I'll make sure I got all my impact sockets, and then throw that wrench, or throw that impact wrench in there. And I forgot. I was like, well, thankfully we didn't have a blowout. We didn't need it anyway. But yeah. Boy, I'd be like damn NASCAR pit crew on the side of the interstate changing a tire on a trailer.
Those are, I mean, yeah, if you want to start getting in, dude, if I were to analyze like what's in my service truck, oh shit, man, I got so much shit in my service truck.
It's definitely not bare bones.
No, if you're trying to not spend a lot, I mean, and those actually are not crazy. Like, I think you can get a 1/2-inch impact Milwaukee for probably $300.
Yeah. I mean, they're not cheap, but that ought to go on the Christmas list.
Yeah, that will probably make our list. I would say the 1/2-inch. They make a 1-inch, and like it's I think it's called like the penis ripper. But like that one is supposed to be really bad.
I don't know that I would want that.
Yeah, it'd be like I know there was a guy that used to come in the shop, Big A. You know who I'm talking about? You know the story?
I know the story.
He literally had a penis ripper drill, unintentionally.
I don't know how much that story I believe, but it's entertaining nonetheless.
Well, that's what this dude also, what did he do? He did 140 miles an hour in like a Ford service truck, but he was working up on like a pole, and he had like
a pole or a ladder or something.
Yeah. And he had like a DeWalt just drill, and he had put it in, thought he had it in a holster. Well, he had stuck it in his pocket, and man, he reached down to get it out of his pocket, and he accidentally hit the trigger. And so it wound his pants up. And when it did, in the process, it wound up his dick. And I guess he must have had like an 18-inch penis by the story.
Well, I think he would clearly tell the story just so he could say
how huge it was,
how bad skin up it was.
Yes. And so it wound it up. Well, he's like, oh man, he had it in high gear. So he's like, oh shit. He tries to put it in reverse. Hell, he puts it in low gear. And so then he hits the trigger.
Another 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah, it just takes around. And for those of you that are watching this, he goes, man, it skint that thing all the way back to right here. So like if you held your arm up for our audience that's audio, like if you stuck your fingers out and then you just measure down almost to like your elbow. That's about how long.
Basically, it was saying it took the skin off about 18 inches of his tool there.
Yeah. He's like, it skint that son of a bitch that far down. And it's like, damn, man. So yeah, that would be the penis ripper. But
that would be, yeah. Yeah, I've heard that story.
I would venture to say the Milwaukees probably would rip the skin off your penis.
I don't dare say they would probably just rip it all off.
That's true. That is very true. Please don't insert your penis into the Milwaukees in some way. But those are badass. But that's my bare bones essentials. I can't think of anything that just, I mean, man, there's always tools you need. Like the channel locks, those are a must have. The wrenches and a hammer. and a punch. And I'll tell you what, you got to throw in there, and I don't know how we forget this. There's two things you need to throw in there. You need to throw in a pretty good size set, like a bag of zip ties and a roll of duct tape.
You never know when you're going to have to get rid of somebody.
That's right. Keep a bag of lime around as well. But I think you need that. So Kelsey, we appreciate you writing in. Let us know if that was helpful. And I don't know what I've done with the video that I had made to put on the board here. I looked for it, I know, the other night, but I cannot freaking find it.
Well, lucky for you, I'm here.
I know, but it's annoying to me because I'm like, where is that freaking video?
I guess I could send you the one I've got.
Yeah. You probably could do that. I don't guess it'd be under. No. I had to get a new phone, and in the process I have lost the clip.
I got you.
All right.
Let me start off with two words. Made in America.
All right. So I got one, and let me pull up their information here. So Squattober just ended, and I hit, I don't remember what my goal was. I know I had said I wanted to squat 405. I squatted 405.
Yeah.
I hit a lifetime PR for me. And so now I just want even more. But I was very happy. I hit 405. So speaking of Squattober, there is a company that is made in USA since 1980, and it is called Texas Power Bars. You ever heard of them?
Have not.
Well, they make barbells, and I just purchased the squat bar. I've got it in because I was using an old Rogue Ohio bar, which is made in USA as well. But I was like, man, it's not really long, and 405 actually almost takes up the full bar, which I'm using bumper plates and they're wide. But there's a Texas squat bar that I bought, and this thing is bad to the bone. The machinist in me, and see, they're built. Can you guess where?
Well, I'm on the website, so I'm cheating, but everybody should be able to get this.
Built in Texas.
Made in Texas.
Yes. The squat bar is super bad to the bone. This thing is actually, it throws my math off because a normal barbell is 45 pounds. This bar is 55 pounds, and the grip is a little wider. Like the bar itself is actually a little thicker because it's rated for like a shit ton of weight. Like you can squat a lot of weight with this bar, and it doesn't flex and bend and stuff. Like it's a really stiff bar. But the knurling on it, the machinist in me is like, man, it is some savage knurling on this bar. And they did that on purpose so that it grips on your back when you do squats.
Yeah.
But the Texas squat bar, it's about $360. You can get it. I got it chrome. It's a pimp bar. And, Marcy, she's working out. She's like, I don't even want to touch that thing. Cause the knurling, like, you could grind a man's face off with the knurling on this bar.
Yeah.
Like if I had to, I could kill a man with this bar. Like it not only works in weightlifting, but it's also would work as a weapon.
Yeah.
So I would tell you guys, for our friends that like to pump iron, or if you're thinking about putting together a home gym, check out Texas Power Bars. And they've got you don't have to get the squat bar. They have a variety. They got a deadlift bar, and then they've got like just the all around bar. And there's some that are cheaper than the squat bar as well, but they're made in USA, very high quality. They do run some blemish deals too. So like if you wanted like a cheaper bar, every now and then they got their blemish products where maybe the knurling wasn't quite right. So I would encourage you, check them out.
So I guess there's more than two things that come from Texas.
Yeah, steers and queers and power bars.
Yeah.
That's right.
So we went to Texas last week, and that's what I was informing my kids, like the only two things come from Texas. My son was like, "What's a queer?"
What'd you tell him?
My wife was like, "What in the world have you gotten into now?" I was like, "No." I was like, "He needs to be cultured. He needs to know what."
So what did you say? How'd you explain it?
I don't even remember what I said.
Oh man, let's say I'd like to know how you explained that.
Yeah.
The queers. Well, yeah. I would try to like channel Big C and explaining what the queers are.
I probably just said something like, they're just weird people or something.
Yeah.
It's weird how, well, Charlie Kirk kind of did a thing on this where it's like, when we were growing up, like queer was absolutely
insult.
Yeah. It was a derogatory term. And like now, like, no, like that's like, I'm queer, like LGBTQ before you even get to the I don't
say all the rest of the alphabet.
RS, yeah, they you get through everything else, but like no, it's like a term of endearment now. Like
it is funny, yeah. Like used to be like, all right, queers, yeah, like and smear the queer.
We played smear the queer. Like,
does anybody play that anymore?
Oh, I'm sure you can't call it that.
I'll have to tell Levi to go play smear the queer at school. Like, go tell your teacher you want to play smear the queer at recess.
But I guess now it'd be fine and be like, oh yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, I want to be the queer.
I am a queer.
Yeah, let me be the queer. Yeah. So, but don't be a queer and get you a Texas. Go ahead and get you a Texas Power Bar or you're queer. Also, you need to leave us 5-star ratings on Apple, Spotify. Again, guys, we got to get to 1,000 and we can unlock the three people are going to get the freaking not lifetime, year's supply of meat from Good Ranchers. And also you're going to unlock a giveaway from us that's going to be super badass. So they need to do that. And what else they need to do?
Yeah, go to agzaga.com, check out the advent calendars, check out all the other good stuff, whether it's for Christmas shopping or just goodies that you need around the farm, the toolboxes to put on your pickup or anything else, some of the tools to put in there.
Yep. Discount
code is TalkDirt20. That's $20 off a $50 minimum order and free shipping.
There you go. Guys, do it. And hey, don't forget, go on Good Ranchers and buy something and tell them that we sent you. Let them know we sent you there. All right, guys, we'll catch you next week.
You've been listening to Talk Dirt to Me with your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee. If you enjoyed this episode, we ask that you subscribe and leave a review. And we'll catch you next time.